Hello, good morning. Yeah, it's morning. I never usually say if it's morning or night because half the time I don't know and half the time I don't care, and half and half is a fool. I just wanted to report to the people that love my little girl Allison. She's up for adoption now again. I know. I was getting dressed the other day, and she was trying to help me, and she finally looked at me and she said, "Dad, you're losing your mind." I said to myself, I hate it when she's right. So anyway, I hid her bunny last night. She came in this morning and she's looking all over for the bunny and looking under the bed and everything. I didn't think she'd find it. And she looks up at the ceiling, and I'd hung it in a basket up the ceiling. So she found it. Anyway, I hate to have to give these reports, but I guess that's my job. I don't know. Let me bring this article up for you. Where'd it go? Uh-oh. Oh, here it is, I think. Yeah, here it is. Okay. This is the Salt Lake Tribune, and it's dated November 18th, 11:18 a.m. Washington father sentenced to prison for rape of girl adopted from Utah polygamous clan. You know, I hate to say it, but you know, in this state, if you've got a vagina, I'd move to California or Colorado. Here's a sad story. A young gal. Alright, let me read it to you. The young woman escaped a polygamous clan in Utah only to be adopted by Shemish, Snohohomish, Washington man who sexually abused her for years. You know, they take her out of a polygamous community so that she'll have a childhood and that so she'll have a life. And this father who adopted her promised to protect her. Instead, he raped and molested her. The woman on Tuesday asked Superior Court Judge Ellen Fair to send the man to prison. The Judge Fair sentenced him to 6 years, which is the low end under state sentencing guidelines. Why would you go to the low end of sentencing guidelines? God, you're going to have this guy back out in 6 years to do this to another girl. It's Utah. Welcome to the Mormons. Meanwhile, state health officials said on Tuesday they are continuing to investigate a complaint against a Washington therapist who recommended the defendant. The poor little girl was in counseling, and the Mormon counselor said to the wife and the victim, who was then 15-year-old girl, all sleep in the same bed as a way to bond. This isn't James Bond. This is an illicit bond. Unbelievable. You know, sometimes I just can't think of things to say because it's so outrageous. I told you, I've got videos back there. Go look. Go look. Don't go to Mormon counselors. Don't go to a Mormon counselor. We're going to tell you to sleep with your 15-year-old so you can bond. Well, he bonded. I don't think she did. Okay, so the therapist is under investigation, but she won't lose her license in this state. She might get a $5 fine and be right back telling the men to sleep with their 15-year-old daughters. The girl wound up in foster care after spending most of her childhood in a polygamous group where she was abused. Now, so she was abused in the polygamous group, and this asshole adopts her, and then the therapist says, well, you got to sleep with her so she'll bond with you. Maybe you ought to just feed her and help her with her homework and love her and be kind and hug her and kiss her and take her to, you know, the movies and things. Don't sleep with her. God dang. You know, I have a counseling degree. When in God's name would I ever say to a family who had an adopted child who has, you know, special issues anyway of bonding and molestation throughout her life, sleep with the child? She met the defendant and his wife and soon after was taken away from her birth parents. Well, the girl and her adoptive parents started seeing a therapist to address what they were told were the girl's abandonments and attachment issues, court papers said. That's when the therapist recommended that they all sleep together in the same bed. Police interviewed the therapist, who confirmed she suggested attachment therapy. Whatever you want to call it. The father attached to the 15-year-old. Is that attachment therapy? Oh, anyway, let's see if I can jeez. Oh, God, am I still around? Am I? Yeah, there I am. Jeez. Anyway, as a master's level counselor, I do not recommend this type of attachment therapy. What I do recommend is going to the PTA meetings and to the little conferences on how the kid is doing in school. Take her to the movies sometimes. Let her have shotgun in the car, rotating fairly. Let her have her own privacy. Gosh, my little girls, Jesus. You know, my Abigail, she's 14 now, and I put a bathroom in her own room and double locks on her doors. And I want her to feel attachment. I want her to feel safe. No one goes in her room without knocking. No one goes in her room without permission. She's a young woman. She's growing up. She's in a family that is not her birth family. And we attach by me helping her with her little farm project the other day. Drove me nuts, 10 hours. Helping her there, and letting her play basketball, and letting her run on the track, and buy her track shoes, and let her take dance classes, and let her drive the car. Oh, a 14-year-old driving. Oh, I didn't say that. And we quit driving in LDS church parking lots, because if they knew who I was, off this point of the mountain, so she can't drive anymore until she's 15. But anyway, I just feel bad that why are some people just so damn desperate for sex they'll ruin a young girl's life? I don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, if you daddy and daughter, Allison last night, we were playing on the bed, and I was flying her rabbit. I'm such a bad dad. And she would try to protect the rabbit, and I would grab it, and it flew. And damn, if I didn't fly it into my incense table and knock all the dust and the ashes on the floor. So I turned over and pretended I was asleep, and when her mother came in, the mother blamed the baby. Made her get the vacuum out. And I go, hey, that's a good idea. And made her vacuum. But anyway, love your kids. You know, love them. Give them their privacy. Let them grow up. Answer appropriate questions, and be there. Be there. But don't listen to a Mormon therapist. If they were normal, they wouldn't be a therapist. I can tell you that right now. 80% of the people who are therapists are molested, or they have mental illness like I do. But at least my mental illness didn't cross into counseling. This is outrageous. It's just totally outrageous. So come to Utah, pay your money to the Mormon therapist, you get to sleep with your 15-year-old. Sick, sick stuff. Thanks.